Hey folks, Phil Gallagher here for Daily D&D. We're currently 1-0 with our White Weenie deck list that we're playing this week. Check the deck list Monday for an explanation of what all's going on. Playing against the Knave of Diamonds. Are diamonds like planes? I kind of feel like they are. There might be some diamonds in this here plains. If you did some digging under all that sweet snow. We'll find out. So last round we were slightly scared of Dread Knight. Let's see what we're slightly scared of this time. Island. So we're slightly scared of dying to Breach on turn 2. But not knowing what our opponent is playing, I think it's just 100% correct to play out an Ether Vial. So we're definitely casting the Thalia. And then it gets super interesting about like what we're doing next. I think I'm holding up access to Judge's Familiar. But we'll see. If we are playing against like a Grixis Breach build, our hand is stacked. Well, wouldn't you know it? Be a real shame if someone effed with your graveyard, now wouldn't it? This still could be something like Show and Tell, for the record. Interesting. So I think we want to start vialing in Hawks forever. So the question is, what am I doing with my mana this turn? I can just play a Vial so that I can dump in the Dryad Militants and Judge's Familiar. But it is probably better to just put more creatures into play and more things that might interact with my opponent in case they aren't Breach, and this is just like a weird Show and Tell opener instead. Note, I can't play the Vial 2 because of my own Thalia attacks. So we're holding up Wasteland. So the next interesting question is, at end step, do I just put in Hawk or do I put in Cleric? It's every card that I show them is one less surprise that I have in the bag for following games. I guess I put in Cleric, because then on my turn I can main phase activate and both put in and play a Squadron Hawk and make better use of my mana. We'll see, though. Biggest problem right now is that I'm out of tea. So we'll remedy that before match 3 of this week. Drinking a matcha green tea latte because I have weeb tastes. Oh no, it's not Breach. That's so much worse for us. I'm a little unsure about what exactly my opponent kept. And, like, they've played the City of Traders out into my wasteland. So maybe that means, like, intuition for show and tell or something. This is interesting. So 2, 4, 6, 7 damage this turn. So I will be representing lethal next turn. Alright, I'm going to take a little bit of a... Nope, they're just going to do it now. Impulse? Okay, no, they do need the extra mana. So this is going to be intuition for show and tell, I believe. Oh no, a Cunning Wish. What does your Cunning Wish get? An actual factual stifle would be kind of hilarious. Wow, it's just an intuition. Okay. Alright, so how does Bullshit work again? Choose a creature with the least toughness. Okay. Yes. Putting an offense in play. Cast a Dryad Militant. Send them in. I'm not sure, but I might just have lethal next turn. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 is more than 7. I do have lethal. Judge's Familiar can potentially counter a show and tell. Hey! Take that, knave. Alright, what do we have for show and tell? Spirit seems good. Deafening Silence is fine. And then Pithing... Alright, Prowlet's good. Then Pithing Needle, Council's Judgment, and Recruiter all technically do things. So let's start with taking out things that I don't want and go from there. The Walking Ballistas are not where I need to be. The Heliads, while a fast clock, are probably also not where I need to be. I have odd disruption. Not strong disruption, odd disruption. So I am hopefully looking to more aggro my opponent than anything else while taking advantage of soft disruption. If I play Council's Judgments, I have outs to them just show and telling in a creature. And I can always pitch it to a Force of Virtue if it's not good. So maybe trim a couple of Clerics. Keep the more aggressive things in here. And the things that can grow some of our creatures out of Pyroclasm range. Okay. So the other thing I can consider is playing the Recruiters to have more copies of Sanctum Prelate effectively. That's probably better than 2 of these. Because I'd rather play Judge's Familiar Mom or Vial over all of them. No. I don't think this is good enough. This is fine. I'm going to throw back 1 land. Keeping the Deafening Silence gives us something to pitch for Force of Virtue, and is also fine if my opponent counters our stuff. It is a shuffle with the Ponder. Deafening Silence and Judge's Familiar do very, very different things there. Note, Force of Virtue does have a timing restriction. You can only do this when it's not your turn. So my Thalia is going to get in the way of that. But hopefully we just do that on a future turn instead. Alright, so green potentially indicates that my opponent has Ice Fang Coatl. Oh no, a return to nature. Sure. Return to nature is a card that has very, very, very much impressed me. Oh, okay. That's just gotta be correct to jam this. A Pyroclasm effect would super suck on my opponent's turn, but we can play around it every other turn after this, probably in multiple different ways. I don't know how green my opponent is. Like, most of the versions of this deck that are green are just blue-green. But you never know. I don't think my Sanctum Prelate will be attacking into open green mana. Not 100% sure yet, but that's my current thought. Only getting a little filtering off of Mystic Sanctuary. Mystic Sanctuary. Confirm audio, confirm audio. Again, I don't want to attack into Ice Fang Coatl. I'm going to play scared. I think it's smart to play scared. So now the next question is, what am I doing with the rest of my turn? I think I try to resolve Deafening Silence first. Actually, since this is here, I could just play double Judge's Familiar and then hold up Force of Virtue, pitching Deafening Silence. I like that better. And opponent just took no turn there. You can have your Ponder. And now this is a lot of pressure. So it's lethal next turn. Oh. Opponent gives it up just like that. We are 2-0 with White Weenie in 2020. Feels good. Feels real good. I'll be back tomorrow.